Okay. Um, I just wanted, Dyandria, would you like to say something? Or can I introduce you? I was learning how to use the Express Studio, and at the end of my session, someone came in and I said, "Can I sit here and watch you?" And he was very gracious, and it turned out to be a show called Jewish World. And a few people started to come in there, and this lady was in there, and I sat there and had a spiritual experience just listening to this show, talking about Holocaust victims not getting their rights. And afterwards, this beautiful voice and presence, I found out had been in prison for 3 years. So she told me that a book was given to her by someone called Conversations with God, and we proceeded to have a really nice connection. And I'm so glad you came here, and I'm so eager to hear what you have to say, how it affected you.
Thank you, Paul, and it's good to see you again.
Yeah.
My name is Dyandria, and I found this this film to be riveting. I had no idea. Somebody here had mentioned that we all knew what we were coming to see, and I really didn't know. But it was riveting. And I'll say it for myself, as a child, I never went with the grain. As a very, very small child, I said, there's something fishy about religion. I'm not buying it. The stories they don't gel. There's too much contradiction in the Bible that's written by men. And I was very, very uncomfortable, but I always believed in God.
Yeah.
And
this gives you an idea of the mechanism.
Yeah, it's like
science,
that's what was so good about seeing it.
mechanics.
Quantum physics. I didn't know there was a name to it.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting, and it reinforces what I already believed, which I discovered on my own, that God is within us and around us, and we are all one. And I felt it. And in 1997, a tragedy hit me. And all of a sudden, bingo, now I understand what they're talking about, the inner voice, listen to the inner voice. And I started, that's it, I'm listening to my inner voice. I'm not going to ignore it anymore. And things have been going smoothly. And yes, I did spend 3 years in jail, but I had glorious things came out of jail, such as reading Conversations with God. I wouldn't be the person I am today had I not gone to jail. So I thank God that I went to jail. I thank God I met all the people I met in prison. I thank God that I was able to change their lives, so many of them.
Right. I mean, it's really a shame to our society that you were ever there in the first place, for sure.
Oh, well, just to let you know, I was there. I was exposing the corruption in family court and within the Child Protective Services, and they got so upset with me because I did such a good job that they charged me with civil contempt. So even though I spent 3 years in jail, I don't have a record. I don't show up on the police computers. I can
because she didn't commit any
crime. It was a crimeless act.
And it was sort of put up as a warning to producers to kind of be careful on what they're producing. But what I'm saying is, by looking at this show carefully and seeing how the neuronets are arranged, there's a science to it. There's a science to healing ourselves and a science to healing our life, our whole society. So if we're approaching not with enemy images and so on.
Exactly. And did I allow them to control me? Did I come out of jail saying, "Oh, I'm not going to do any more TV"?
And you came,
here I am.
And you came down to this because I know a lot of activists say, "Oh, that's a spiritual thing, and it's not really going to be practical, and it's not going to change anything."
No, it is.
But I think you'll find that your attitude is going to assist you more in accomplishing the changes and the dreams that you want to see.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Dyandria. And Joe.
Thank you.
Finally, we have finally Joe Friendly. And I know you know how to adjust your microphone by yourself. So Joe, can you want to start off saying why you wanted to do this? Because when we first connected, you indicated you wanted to connect with the producers of this film. And here you've, not only are you connecting, you brought a whole room full of Manhattan residents.
When I saw the movie, I felt that that where the movie left off, I had new information to add that makes things hopeful. Higher?
Yeah, I mean, you did it perfect for everyone else.
So it is my claim here, folks, that I'm about to announce a scientific breakthrough to fill in the gap from, but before I do that, I wanted to talk about the concept of God a little bit, because often I've claimed to be an atheist with respect to organized religion. But even as a child, I was fortunate to have the idea of God explained to me in the classic Jewish tradition as something that is nameless. And the emphasis is on the namelessness of what we're talking about. And in that sense, the concept of, you wouldn't say God at that point, you'd allude to the forces. And in that sense, I think the film talks to that sense, that what we're alluding to is a coherence in the universe.
Because force is a good word, because we're talking about power to create. It's creating
Well, I would go
a new
one
reality.
step. In the Jewish prayers, there's one that grabbed me, just a phrase, and that is the effort, the way they say to get in touch with God is to try to be perfect. And I think that's what we're talking about. If we can achieve a kind of a human perfection of tuning in on the truth, tuning in on the unknown with some kind of a profound tie-in with it.
Right. What you put your attention on grows.
And then, as you were talking about spontaneity, then your spontaneity becomes on the path of good action sort of naturally. And that's what I wanted to appeal to in a political sense, that as a people we have obviously been manipulated by evil reality generators in the form of the media. And reality, among its different meanings, is simply the consensus of belief that can be manipulated by what we can see manipulating us. And so the movie for me is a metaphor for waking up. And as a whole people, we need to wake up. And so the movie does provide some of the software.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go one step further with my scientific discovery, and I'm not kidding. The issue of thought that has been raised tonight, that I think what I've come up with is a solar-powered compass for sorting thought. And in particular, when you want to...
A solar-powered compass for picking up thought?
Sorting
Out thought.
So
So we can navigate through our brain?
So we can navigate among the world of thought
According to the sun.
according to the sun. And it's
For those of us who get up early in the
Solar-powered,
morning to
you know.
watch the sunrise
uh,
and do our breathing
so I'm going to
exercises,
pass out copies.
to which you're all
It's about,
welcome.
It's only 7 pages and not that many words on a page. I thought I would read the first 2 pages because this is a historical document. And basically what I'm arguing is analogous to the arguments that Copernicus faced. I'm claiming to be another Copernicus coming along to say that not only does the earth go around the sun, but that human nature goes around the sun. And that is a new idea. To some people it'll be a disturbing idea, certainly an unfamiliar idea, but I'm claiming in all sincerity that this will allow us to bring democracy into the political picture in a new way, because
By understanding our relationship to the sun, we'll become more empowered.
democracy is the idea of people sharing ideas.
Right.
But historically, we can see that when people share ideas, the best ones don't come forward. That was the Jeffersonian dream. But with the benefit of Joe Friendly's compass, we'll be able to make progress in democracy and are being able to think together with
Well, let me see if I can catch up with your thinking here.
Okay.
Democracy's weakness was that the minority's opinion wouldn't get heard.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that
No, I know that's not what you're saying, but I'm trying to think of the weakness and how can we strengthen it.
It's simpler than that. It's just, if you've ever sat in a committee and watched the struggle of a committee to think up what to do, that the hope is that we can change from a corporate system of hierarchies and pecking orders to a more egalitarian sharing of decision-making, control, idea sharing. And I think it's pretty clear that America needs some extra help to survive the committee system making our decisions.